You're tuned in to Comcast Sportsnet California, where tonight it's the A's and Royals live here from the Oakland Coliseum. Now, the A's have given us an all-access pass tonight. We're going to show you everything that goes on, not only during the game, but also behind the scenes here at the Coliseum. Come on with me. I'll show you. Coming up right now, it's the A's and Royals all-access on Comcast Sportsnet California.
What a second half it has been for that man, Rajay Davis. He's right in the middle of everything for the A's. A big win last night for Davis and the Athletics. The A's will try to make it 2 in a row tonight over the Kansas City Royals. So, it's game 2 of this 3-game series as the homestand continues for the Athletics. It's the A's and the Royals coming up tonight here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Good evening, everybody. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Now, indeed, we have a ball game tonight, the A's and the Royals, but a little different telecast tonight, Ray. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's a lot of things that go on in this ballpark outside of just what's going on between the White Lions. And tonight, we're going to check out as many of those things as we can, and I think viewers are going to enjoy it.
You know, I'm looking forward to this because I'm familiar with the clubhouse, the broadcast booth, the playing field, but I have no idea what goes on. Diamond Vision, the grounds crew, the player, all these things. So it's going to be outstanding. I'm going to learn a lot tonight.
Down in the bottom, it says plus more surprises. So there's more than just
Rodney
that.
And food.
Oh, yeah.
Chef Rodney?
Yeah, from what I understand, Chef Rodney is part of tonight's telecast, and that makes us both very, very happy. But we're going to get to see what goes down in the TV truck. We talked about the guys a lot. They work very hard, so we'll be down there as well. So we're going to have fun, and we got a ball game as well. It's the A's and the Royals from the Coliseum. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back. A's All Access tonight here on Comcast Sportsnet California. HD with more HD than anyone, period. Here's our game time weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission is free. The boardwalk is open daily. Very, very nice night. 74 degrees, a little bit warmer than last night. But as always, it will cool off. And cloudless sky. So good night for baseball. The A's just getting ready to take the field for game 2 of the series. 8-5. The A's were winners last night over the Royals. They came back from a 4-0 deficit early in the game. So a good win, and the A's will try to make it 2 in a row tonight over the Royals. The series will wrap up with a day game tomorrow, and then the Seattle Mariners will come to town for a 4-game series. Lineup cards have been exchanged. Ground rules, they're taken care of, so we're set to go. There's our man tonight, Edgar Gonzalez.
You know, I think while we have a moment, we should have Tommy Adza and his great crew shoot the bullpen. Because they have so many pitchers down there, they have to bring down their own chairs. Look at that.
Well, what do we got?
Check them out. You got 5 lefties.
5 lefties, 5 righties, right? So it should be a 10-man bullpen.
I mean, it's a small bullpen anyway. Got extra chairs. So 5 lefties. Wow. These games might be 4 hours long. Let's use this guy for one batter. And
a manager's dream. 5 lefties in the bullpen. Let's take a look at the Kansas City Royals lineup tonight, brought to you by McDonald's. David DeJesus in left, Mitch Meyer in right, Billy Butler at first. Mike Jacobs will DH tonight. Alberto Callasco is hitting 5th and playing second base. Mark Tehan at 3rd. Miguel Olivo is the catcher. Josh Anderson in center field. Unieski Betancourt is the shortstop, and he will at 9th. Defensively for the Athletics, Scott Hairston in left, Rajay Davis in center, Ryan Sweeney is in right. Kennedy at 3rd, Pennington at short, Ellis at 2nd, Barton at 1st. Kurt Suzuki the catcher for Edgar Gonzalez.
Well, for Edgar Gonzalez, his 22nd appearance, his 3rd start, and he could not be happier that the A's are going to a 6-man rotation because Edgar gets to get back in the rotation. This is what he had hoped to do when he came to the Athletics and made the club, or at least joined the club in spring training. Did not make it, was joined the club later, pitching more out of the bullpen and a couple of starts. So his numbers with the 0-1, 540 in 2 starts. But I asked him, I said, you know, as a kid growing up, did you like playing in the dirt? And he said, no more. He said, I'm a changed man. He said, I'm not going to reach down and grab a handful of dirt every time he gets ready to get the sign and pitches. So we'll see. I said, what about the recoil? You know?
Oh, you
and
can't
kind of
lose
no
that.
doubles. They said, oh, I don't know. That's kind of a reaction. But he's happy, and we're happy for Edgar to get a chance to pitch in the rotation. 6-man rotation starting for the A's tonight.
So 10 relievers, 6 starters. So the A's with a 16-man pitching staff.
And 3 extra men right now, so that's a 28-player roster to start September the 1st.
So Gonzalez is ready. David DeJesus steps in, and we are set to go on a Tuesday night from the Coliseum. First pitch to DeJesus is in for a strike.
First pitch, 708.
275 for DeJesus with 12 homers and 64 runs batted in.
Thank you.
Dick Callahan.
Delightful. Temperature? Delightful. Hey, Edgar, that's 2 pitches now. He hasn't gone to the dirt, so he must be a man of his word. And it's got Mike Esterbrook like in the low fastball, the low strike, so that's good also. Good sinker from Edgar. Pretty good fastball. He'll throw 90+ with a heater, but I think he likes to fool hitters with the off-speed pitches, which he will be throwing the off-speed curveball and flipping up some change-ups.
0-2 pitch, a fastball, and a swing and a miss by DeJesus. So that's the first out. Now, the A's added to their roster today. Of course, everybody can expand on September 1st. Blevins and Eveland are back, and Brad Kilby, a left-handed reliever, in the big leagues for the first time. So that is Brad on the right, a lefty who had a terrific season in Sacramento. So Brad Kilby, and he's a California guy from Elk Grove, so up near Sacramento.
It's kind of good. They didn't have to take their own chairs either. They cut the soft seat down. It's part of the bullpen. A very different bullpen in Major League Baseball. There's the smartest man in baseball, Craig Breslow. Nice article in USA Today about Craig and the other intelligent players around baseball.
Another strikeout for Edgar Gonzalez. No messing around tonight with Edgar as he strikes out Mitch Meyer.
Well, he's staying with a fastball, and look at the movement. Wow. Really tailing away from the left-hander. Starts in the middle of the plate and ends up in the outside corner. So a good pitch by Edgar.
So Billy Butler hits with 2 outs. And the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
7 pitches, 7 strikes for Edgar.
Butler 294 with 15 home runs and 67 runs batted in. If you're just joining us, tonight is A's All Access. It's a special telecast. Get you through the first inning, and then we'll have a little fun. Be around the ballpark. Brody Brazil, a very busy man tonight. We think you're going to learn some stuff tonight about what goes on during an A's game. There's a good chance you and I may learn something. You've been here for a long time, and you may learn something.
That's right. Especially, I haven't seen Chef Rodney's kitchen, so I'm looking forward to that. Brody said he went in the freezer and praying the door didn't close behind him. You know, Edgar just couldn't wait to throw a curveball, a slow curveball. It took him 10 pitches, 9 fastballs, and a lot of strikes so far for Edgar.
Another curve. This one's low in the dirt. 3-2. Mike Jacobs, the left-handed hitter, waits in the on-deck circle. Butler was 0 for 2 last night, but he walked a couple times and scored a couple of runs. Curve, strike 3 called. Edgar Gonzalez strikes out the side. 2 swinging, 1 looking. So a good start for Edgar Gonzalez. No score as we head to the bottom of the first.
3-2.
Number 29, Adam Kennedy.
No score, bottom of the first. Adam Kennedy steps in for the A's against Kyle Davies, the right-hander. There's a strike from Davies. We'll give you the A's lineup in just a moment. Kennedy 274 with 10 homers and 49 runs batted in. Kennedy was 0 for 4 last night, but he had an RBI and a run scored.
What an Uncle Charlie. He just threw Adam Kennedy. Hard curveball.
Uncle Charlie.
Barry Zito made his appearance, which was it Saturday or Sunday? San Francisco? Was it Saturday?
Yeah.
They said Uncle Charlie was visiting because he had the hammer working Saturday. Big old curveball from Barry.
Uncle Charlie. We got to find out where that name came from. Uncle Charlie.
But Philadelphia 1-0 over the Giants.
Yeah,
wow.
Cole Hamels was terrific. On the ground to the shortstop. Betancourt has it, and that's the first down. Let's take a look at the rest of the A's lineup, brought to you by McDonald's. Kennedy, Davis, Suzuki, Cust, Hairston, Sweeney, Ellis, Barton, and Pennington.
Number 11, Rajay Davis.
DeJesus Anderson, that's Josh Anderson and Mitch Meyer in the outfield for the Royals. Tehan, Betancourt, Cayaspo, Butler on the infield. Miguel Olivo is the catcher tonight, as he was last night. 25-year-old Kyle Davies on the mound.
First start for Davies against the A's this year. The unbalanced schedule, you really don't see some of the teams as much as obviously the teams in your own division. 19 times the A's faced the Mariners, the Rangers, and the Angels, but it's just the 6th meeting between these two clubs this year.
Driven to left. DeJesus is going to watch that one go. He tried to deke the announcer.
Yeah, not you, though. No way. No way.
He almost got me, but Davis with a home run, his 3rd of the year, and it's 1-0 A's.
Oh, that's too bad. Rajay got to trot around the bases. We're accustomed to seeing him sprint and steal bases, but what a shot. His last one at Tampa Bay against Garza on the 11th of July. So September 1st, welcome Rajay, a solo home run. Listen, that's a great sound.
Kurt Suzuki bounces one near the bag at second. Betancourt throws out Suzuki for the second out.
Rajay's doing it all. And he's got his left wrist bandaged, or at least a wrap around it, because the Cayaspo ball he hit right center last night. He kind of turned his wrist under as he tried to make a diving catch. It did not affect him with that swing. So right thumb, left wrist, and a big smile. Maybe he's going for 30-30.
33 so far. 30 steals. He got his 30th last time.
And he'd take the 30 bags for sure.
And, I think Rajay Davis, obviously, he's playing every day in the second half, and probably the longest time that he has played every day in the big leagues. And he's probably finding out that you do get dinged up a little bit. But he's played right through it. Has not slowed him down.
See a little bit of the tape on the left wrist. He hasn't stopped smiling. There's the thumb that he injured, little fracture on the tip of the thumb. Yeah, it's amazing. We talk to players over the course of a season, and I've talked to some players who actually have had fractures and played. You think about football players playing with fractures or put a cast on, but a little bit harder with a baseball player.
2-1 to Jack Cust. The big curve and a good one from Davies. 2-2. Fastball up and away. So full count to Cust, who's hitting .239 with 20 home runs.
Rajay talking about the curveball from the right-hander, which is a good one, but he had a fastball.
Swing and a miss by Cust, so a run for the A's on the home run by Rajay Davis. When we come back, we're going to head inside the TV truck. These guys are awesome. You're going to find out when we come back.
1.
We get him.
That's right.
Can't mess around these guys.
One nothing A's on the Rajay Davis home run in the bottom of the first. So Mike Jacobs leading it off. First pitch from Edgar Gonzalez is outside. And let's check in now. Brody Brazil is down in the TV truck. This is where it all happens, folks. Brody, take it away.
Well, good. We're down here and a lot of fans watching at home. Obviously, you're probably sitting on your sofa having a good time. There's a lot of people hard at work here inside the television production truck. What you're looking at is a 53-foot trailer. This truck cost about $10 million, and it's full HD. Here you see we're shading all the cameras. We can adjust the levels. We can do everything with the cameras. It's all controlled from the truck. We move back here into the tape area. Now, this is Scott. Scott's what's doing called Elvis operating here, and basically he's playing back tapes. For example, Scott, can you show us Raj Davis's home run there in the first inning?
There you go. There's the
number 13.
It's queued up. And we can just play this back instantly. So we have access to pretty much every camera angle. Everything basically gets recorded on a hard drive, and we're able to play it back for you instantly in high definition. We keep going back here. We're going to show you the audio room where Derek is running audio for us tonight. And you're going to see what kind of board Derek has in front of him. Take a look inside here. Now that's a handful, huh, Derek?
41.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I mean, how close do you have to pay attention to this?
It's like the Starship Enterprise. You gotta know what you're doing.
Batting in the sixth position.
And if you thought this was impressive, thanks a lot, Derek. We're going to head in here to the actually main production control room. And as soon as Mike takes a turn around here, you're going to see how impressive this is. Take a look at this, how many monitors we have in front of us here. You'd think we're launching a rocket ship or something like that, but we're just watching a baseball game. And also what we can do is we can listen in to hear exactly what this broadcast sounds like as it happens. Let's take a listen.
32. Batter on one tight. Ready one. Take one. 35. Take five. Ready three. Three on the runner. Take three. Ready four. Take four. Three's got the pick. Ready two. Pitcher one. Ready
Back
one.
up
Take
Elvis
one.
for pitch.
You're hearing the voice of Tom Adza, who's the
Elvis.
director, and Delaire to his left, the producer. Lars is running the switcher over there. Lars is the gentleman with all the buttons in front of his hands.
Stand by four. Dissolve four. Ready two. Take two. Ready five on the runner tight. Ready five. Take five. Ready one.
You can see that all of our camera operators
Take
have to
one.
be on their toes, ready for their shot to be taken almost at
Ready
any
two.
time. Lars
Take
just
two.
pushes the magic buttons that makes that happen.
Ready four. Take four. Pick is three. Ready two. Catcher on seven. Ready seven. Take seven. Pitcher one. Ready one. Take one. Ready four. Take four. Ready two.
Beta has it.
Take two. Possible double play? No. Ready five. Take
Stand by
five.
Y.
All right, so that is the A's TV truck. We're down here in that little circular area of the parking lot. This truck is here every game, producing games in high definition for Comcast Sportsnet California. Glenn and Ray, back to you
Stand by
guys.
four. Full dissolve.
We don't do anything new with it.
No. They're
By
making us look
comparison.
bad.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Brody.
Not
Tommy, that's
yet.
pretty impressive. So he's ready. He's telling the center field camera to get ready, and then when he goes to him, he's saying, "Take it." Right? Is that what you're doing, Tommy? Attaboy. Yeah, that's why you got all those Emmy awards. The best.
If you ever get a chance to go inside of a production truck, do it. Because you'll never watch a sporting event the same way, because you'll realize so many things go into a single telecast of an A's game, and the guys are awesome down in the TV truck. They really are.
That was impressive. I'd like to know, though, and perhaps they can answer and let us know why it's called Elvis. The record.
It's a good question.
Why is it Elvis? EVS is what it's called. The machine is called EVS. And you just nickname it Elvis is always in the house.
Easier to say.
So EVS. I think the amazing thing is that instantaneously you can pull up whatever
Anything.
you want.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
And there
There
it
it
is.
is, yeah.
That's the EVS machine.
everything's
right there.
being recorded, right? There's Elvis.
So you know what's fun too, though, is we can talk to the guys in the truck. We have a button on our audio box that we push, and that allows us to ask Dallaire a question, the producer, or Tommy Adza, director. We can ask those guys a question, or if there's something we would like to see, we can ask them for it, and they hear us in the truck. May ask Josh Hood, the graphics operator, hey, what kind of graphic do you have on that? So we do communicate with them quite a bit, and obviously they can talk to us as well.
$10 million unit sitting in the parking lot. That's impressive. I mean, all that equipment. And the high definition part, I think that's maybe a question too, how the difference in just standard or high definition. What happens in the truck, guys, as far as what creates the high definition? Plug it outside. Brody, you got to get all these things. We got to get Brody on the line so we can ask him.
Brody's moving on to his next.
Probably
Brody's heading down toward the A's clubhouse, I believe. That's going to be his next stop.
But I think the amazing thing is the high definition part, the clarity. And
we're going to talk to Brett Tomko later. We're going to find out what does a starting pitcher do when he's not pitching. We have all kinds of stuff tonight. So,
do you know something about Brett Tomko? Maybe he'll talk about it. His father designed the logo of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He came up with the nickname Cavaliers and designed the logo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Do you know that Brett Tomko is a graphic artist?
I do know that, yeah.
He's had a lot of.
He got it from his father.
With the Giants, that he was selling some
serious
of his
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Takes it very serious. 3-2 to Miguel Olivo. Callaspo is the runner at second.
Well, this is a time with Edgar Gonzalez, and like we mentioned, he's got a good fastball. The fastball is running more away from the left-handers into the right-handers, but he also likes to throw the curveball. He can throw any of his pitches, any count, and not a little confusion between Kurt Suzuki and Edgar, and it's always better for a catcher to go out and talk to his pitcher instead of fighting with him, but putting the fingers down.
3-2 pitch, foul straight back.
There it is.
It's back.
Guys call it no doubles because you see a coach in the dugout. He's putting his hand back over his head to the outfielders.
Olivo pokes one into center field for a base hit. Callaspo is going to come around and score. So a 2-out RBI hit by Olivo, and this ball game is tied at 1.
See, it went to a slow curve and it allowed Olivo to be fooled, but still enough to get the ball in the center field.
Josh Anderson.
Out on the front foot, one-handed swing, but big, strong Olivo, and got the ball in center field and no chance for anybody to get to it.
So here's Josh Anderson, speedy left-handed hitter. Olivo takes off, the throw to second base in time. Suzuki throws out Olivo, trying to steal side, retired, but a run for the Kansas City Royals. So bottom of the second coming up. It's the Royals 1 and the A's 1. It's time now to check back in with Brody Brazil, who is headed into the A's clubhouse. Brody.
And it doesn't get much more all access than this. Welcome inside the A's clubhouse.
Equipment-wise, I bring 4 on the road. That also includes a small one with extra helmets. The trainers will bring 3 big ones, a couple of small ones. Just pointed, we wear 2 uniforms on the road. This is one of my travel with the extra hats, luggage tags, shoelaces, got everything you could imagine. And then we keep an extra set of uniforms just in case some somehow mysteriously disappear on the road.
All right, well, this has been the clubhouse, and the last thing I guess we should see is the way out. That's it right there, down to the,
actually goes
the dugout.
Right down the field to the dugout, and players are up and down that 10, 15 times a day. My staff probably 20 and 30 times a day. So that's the way to the field, the way to begin the game.
All right, well, we appreciate your time, Boost. Thanks a lot. And this is stuff that most fans never get to see until now.
All right, thanks, Brody. We talk about Steve Vucinich all the time. Of course, A's fans know all about Vuce, but he is the man. I call him the Godfather. That's just my nickname for him.
He's a historian.
He's
and,
awesome.
He's 42nd season, as he said. Very well versed. I mean, he handled that so well, didn't he?
He did. So that is inside the A's clubhouse, and Brody was right. All access. If you get inside the big league clubhouse, you do have all access.
And the difference, you saw the tunnel, the staircase going down to the dugout. On the visiting side, of course, Bruce at the top of the steps, he has to guide. They have a barrier down the middle. And he has to guide the folks who go down to diamond level to stay on one side, but it's also access to the field for the visiting team. So while the fans are going down to their seats, they could also be walking alongside some of the visiting players as they go down.
Or maybe an umpire.
Well,
right? Umpire's room is right there.
That is true. It's Matt Weiss who's taking care of them, right?
Yeah.
And that's the diamond level, but the access to that area is down the visiting side, or the visiting walkway, exactly the same that looks on the home side, except on the home side it's just the A's team, A's player personnel. You walk down the visiting side, you got all the food behind diamond level. That's the all-you-can-eat section.
Started smelling good about halfway down the hallway.
Now Bruce has his hands full, because there's no doubt as the fans start coming in, especially when the Yankees are in town, you got the Yankee players walking by, and they want to take their time. Bruce has to make sure they stay on the right side, the correct side, and get down to their seats, and players need to get the work done.
Ryan Sweeney with a ground ball out. So Hairston a fly ball to center field. Sweeney a ground ball to second base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. A 1-1 game.
Batting in the 7th position, second baseman, number 14, Mark Ellis.
And Mark Ellis will hit. Rajai Davis with a home run in the first inning for the A's run so far. Fastball right on the outside corner from Kyle Davies. Kyle Davies, 25 years old, and he's part of a group of young pitchers that the Royals trying to be patient with. So Hochevar last night, Brian Bannister, all guys that you can tell they have a chance to be good pitchers. The Royals are hoping that it works out that way. Right now, just a lot of inconsistency between the young starters for the Royals. That's John Gibbons, the interim manager. Trey Hillman has left the team for a couple days. Two to Ellis. That's a soft line drive in the left field for a base hit. Second hit for the A's, and it's a 2-out single by Mark Ellis.
Davies throwing some pretty good, good fastball, good curve, and the changeup as he struck out Jack Cuz last inning. Changeup to Mark Ellis down, and Mark Ellis, nice little lift to the front leg, but kept his bat back and able to handle the changeup at about 84 miles per hour.
So Derek Barton steps in. Kyle Davies was originally with the Atlanta Braves. He was a 4th-round pick of the Braves in 2001, but was traded from the Braves to the Royals for Octavio Dotel in 2007, right at the trade deadline. It looked like he had maybe started to turn the corner last year. He was 9-7 with an ERA just a shade over 4 in 21 starts for the Royals. Driven to right. Mitch Meyer has got room. He makes the catch. Side retired. A 2-out hit for Ellis. Nothing else. We head to the 3rd. It's 1-1 game. A's and Royals. One game, top of the 3rd, A's and Royals. Brody Bazile is standing by with A's Vice President of Stadium Operations, David Runetti.
Well, if you ever get in trouble here at the Coliseum, this is likely the man you'll have to answer to. This is David Runetti, the Vice President of Stadium Operations for the A's. And David, you and your crew do a good job not only of making sure everybody's safe here, but also making sure they have a good time and that anything they need is really taken care of.
Well, we focus on our customer service, but in the whole training that we do for them at the beginning of the season, it involves not only the customer service, but it also involves emergency preparedness, dealing with client, customer concerns, questions, knowledge of the stadium. So there's a wide range of things that they're taught to deal with our fans.
On a typical night, you have a crew of maybe, what, a couple hundred?
Yeah, about a couple hundred, and that could fluctuate depending upon attendance. It can be upwards of 500-600 people depending upon the scope of the game.
What's it like to really manage so many people? I mean, this is a challenge every night, right? I mean, it's not the same thing over and over, is it?
It's never the same. No 2 days or no 2 games are the same. But it's been fairly easy dealing with the staff that we have here, because a lot of them have been here for a long time, and they take pride in the facility. They're people that love the facility, they love the team, they enjoy being here, so that helps. That helps a lot.
And on a personal level, how long have you been here working at the Coliseum?
I began here in 1981, so I'm in year 29 right now.
Just got to throw that out there, because you're one of those another amazing people that's been here so long with this team and this stadium and this organization. So thank you very much for your hard work.
Well, thank you. It's been my entire adult life with the Oakland A's, so it's been a great ride.
All right, that is David Runetti, a guy that you're surely likely to see walking around here at the old ballpark.
Well, David Runetti, one of our favorites. He's the Vice President of Stadium Operations, 29th year with the Oakland A's, so he, like Voos and like yourself, well, you've seen just about everything here at the Coliseum. But he's a good guy. David Runetti runs a tight ship, too. Yeah, that's the way it should be. So Anderson, a ground out. Betancourt, a ground out, both to second base. 2 outs here in the top of the
Number
third.
9, David DeJesus.
David DeJesus steps in, the leadoff hitter. DeJesus struck out in the first inning. Edgar Gonzalez struck out the side in the first. Big curve in for a strike. So we hope you're enjoying our A's All Access telecast tonight. A lot more to come. We have just gotten things started. The big curve this time stays outside. 1-1 to DeJesus.
One thing Edgar Gonzalez was doing, trying to lead up to this start, trying to simulate by throwing a lot of pitches on the side down in the bullpen. Had not pitched in a while. Been remarkable so far.
How about 15 days?
Yeah.
Last appearance was August 15th. And going back a little further, he's appeared in just 1 game in 22 days.
So he's well rested. He's probably got 200 pitches tonight.
So far, he's been sharp. 2-2 now to DeJesus. Beginning of our show, we showed you the A's bullpen, a packed house tonight with 10 relievers. Plus, you got a bullpen catcher, got a bullpen coach, Ron Romanek. Just a bit inside, looked like a strike.
Wow.
Called the ball.
Mike Esterbrook's had a pretty good strike zone tonight. Surprising to not call that. And Edgar, watch Edgar with the follow throw. He thought he had strike 3. Yeah, back with the recoil and the back is. It didn't get the call.
Swing and a miss. That time a strikeout swinging. So 4 strikeouts for Edgar Gonzalez and nothing for the Royals in the top of the third. So a 1-1 game as we head to the bottom of the third. We were talking about the bullpen, a crowded house tonight, and it'll be that way the rest of the year. But the man in charge, the bullpen coach, Ron Romanek, he's got a microphone on. Ron, can you hear us okay?
I got you. How you guys doing?
Good. Is there enough room down there? We've been talking about the crowded bullpen. 10 pitchers, is that right?
Yeah, 5 righties and 5 lefties. We can match up with anybody right now.
That's what we said. It's a manager's dream, a pitching coach's dream. 5 left-handers.
Yeah, we'll be double barrel in there.
Now, Ron, at the beginning of the game, you had the extra chairs, you had everybody down. Now, I saw some of the guys head back towards the clubhouse. Who comes back? What do they do when they come back?
Well, some of the guys, they have their routines all year long, and there's some medical stuff. Guys like to go in and get heated on various things, and then come out, especially when they know they're going to be used after the 5th inning. Other guys, it's just, do you guys hear me? Just part of their routine, so they're not sitting down here all game. And you know, there's a little bit of a we all come down to start the game, kind of a respect thing, national anthem, and then the guys get locked into their various roles and what have you. So yeah, it's pretty good about it. So we're on the field, and that's a little bit different than a lot of the other fields where the bullpens are off the field. You know,
is it good or bad?
I like it actually because you can follow the whole game, you know, and it's kind of an old school thing, but it's easier to stay with the game both sides. So that's what I try to do. When you get removed from the field, especially in those closed-in booths like New York and Detroit has that, you can kind of feel like you're away from the game, and I like to watch. So I sit next to the phone. Tampa is actually horrible because the phone, I get my hand on it, and sometimes it rings. It's optional, so it makes our manager a little skittish, which I don't blame him. I think I've had the technician come down like 6 times in the last 2 times I went to Tampa, so not an issue here. And I'll have Keith Folk tormenting me this year. I think he liked seeing me stress out all last year by distracting me when the phone rings. So I think that was his forte. So it was a lot of fun that way, as long as the manager doesn't stress out because of it. So.
Ronnie, I know, having spent time in bullpens, there's a lot of different conversations that go on. Guys talk about different things. What's it like having the smartest man in baseball in your bullpen? Of course, Craig Breslow. You know,
Dr. Breslow.
Dr. Breslow, yeah.
He's a character. He has a comment on everything. He's kind of the low key. The guy that keeps me on my toes is Ziggy, which he's in there heating his knee up, which is his routine now. He just left last inning. I think Ziggy likes seeing me make a mistake on my my charts here. He sits right next to me just to make sure I make a mistake, and he lets me know about it. So he's my special checker here in about another inning. So.
Ronnie, we know that Andrew Bailey's job is to, let's watch this base hit. Infield hit off the pitcher, but Andrew Bailey's job as the rookie, and I think it's admirable that he is an all-star, yet he's continued to take the goodies down to the bullpen. Kind of explain what is allowed to be brought down, what does he bring down, and you know, what do you allow players, the bullpen, to eat?
Well, it's a rite of passage that designates the guy the least amount of time to be the caretaker. That it's not as bad as some of the ballparks. I think Toronto, they actually play a song, like a Barney song, when a guy comes out with him on the Jumbotron there, which is a little degrading, but you know, the veterans decide that, and now you got one here, pretty much Wirtzy. It was Springer and Wirtzy that in a good way did that, and I think Houston, when he was here, you know, he had to bring out the water and all that, so he just continued to do it all year, and I think Andrew, in a good spirit way, he just does it, and he goes out, he actually out of his own pocket and buys stuff guys want,
wow,
you know, besides the water and stuff. And the actual bag we had blew up. The Bass Pro Shops one that Embry got finally gave out, so we got one with rollers on it now. So, and he continues to do that. So, good sport about it, you know.
Runners going. Pennington.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's a heck of a double play by the second baseman Callaspo and the shortstop Betancourt. Even with the runner moving, they still were able to turn the double play.
Well, Ronnie, one of the things, of course, for those who may not know, you are the bullpen coach, but you're also a former major league pitcher and working with Kurt Young, the A's pitching coach, and the kind of the mechanics, and one of the experts in that regard. And congratulations for the job that you've done. And I know you've done a lot of work with Brad Ziegler with his new delivery, and also Jay Marshall working with him. But just kind of explain, even before a ball game, we see what you do during the game, but as far as before the game, the time that you're spent out here, and kind of the side work that the various pitchers go through.
Well, anybody that's come through our system, you know, the cone throwing program, I'd rather have them do all that stuff early instead of, you know, getting their work in during the game. There's more rest time, and you can actually work on some stuff, and, you know, the mental stuff you do with a guy that's maybe not having the best confidence. You know, you are what you do every day. I just keep preaching that to these guys. If you want to get better, you got to do something every day, and it happens at, you know, 4 o'clock, between 4 and 4:30. These guys every day they maintain what they have and work on stuff. And every guy that's come out of the system has their own little routine that keeps them sharp. And when they get off, out of kilter, out of whack, which happens, then they have something they can fall back on.
Ronnie, thanks for joining us. Have a good time tonight. Keep your hand on the phone, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Ron Romanek has joined us. We'll be back. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by KCA. Top of the fourth inning from the Coliseum, a 1-1 game, the A's and the Royals. Just a couple of hits off Edgar Gonzalez so far. Broken bat, deep in the hole at short. Pennington, a nice play.
Wow. That is a gun, folks. That is a gun. Broken bat into the hole. Watch the 1 foot plant and then right over the top and a perfect throw. Derek Barton didn't even have to stretch. That is a very impressive cannon there. That will wake up a few scouts and say, rating 1 to 10, about a 10 on the arm strength.
Has yet to make an error at shortstop. How about that? Billy Butler is there. He struck out looking in the first inning. Pops that one foul.
I had a chance to talk to Billy Butler tonight and just ask him about the success he's having and how much it's because he's playing first base. He said it's all because of that. He said don't have to think just about hitting, and that's usually what a former DH will say once he gets a chance to play both sides of the baseball. So he is doing a good job at first, and as a result, his hitting having an outstanding season offensively. Approaching 300 with some good power numbers and a ball club that did not score a tremendous amount of runs, but he's been right in the middle of it.
Got a curveball and rips it to center. Davis back, still going back. It's over his head. Butler hits the bag at second, and he's going to try for third, and he's going to make it. Billy Butler kept an eye on Rajai Davis, and he just kept rolling. First triple of the year for Billy Butler. And that's a big 90 feet with one out.
Well, watch how much he provides his own power. A slow curveball. It was out on the front foot, just reached down and crushed it. I thought Rajai, of course, playing a little bit shallow, and the ball carried him back towards center field and away from him. And that's what enabled Butler, who was at least thinking 2, but then realized he's got a chance to get his first triple as he continues to run the extra 90 feet. And you're right, infield has to come in for Jacobs, who always aggressive, figures he's going to put the ball in play.
Fastball runs outside. The Royals, the most triples in the majors. That was the first for Butler. Of course, Butler's the guy that has 41 doubles. Toward Ellis, and the runner's going to hold. And Jacobs is out, so a big out by Gonzalez there.
I don't know if Billy Butler was too tired of going contact or he just wanted to make sure the ball went through.
Number 13.
The A's not really having to play in all the way. Butler's showing speed home to third, but it's not like he's a speed merchant to score. But good pitch by Edgar Gonzalez and good play, and Billy Butler's still breathing hard. I don't blame him. That's a long way from home to third. I mean, when Rajai Davis hit a triple, we saw him breathing hard. You know it's a long way.
That's true.
Because Rajai is one that he's in great shape, but don't figure he's going to be breathing hard at all.
Bouncer, Barton has it, plays it off his chest, and Gonzalez works his way out of the jam. Bottom of the fourth coming up. It'll be Suzuki, Cusk, and Hairston. It's a 1-1 game.
Start your engines. It's time.
Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. Candace in Los Gatos asks, who controls the out-of-town scoreboard? Well, what an interesting question, and a good night to ask that question because it's A's All Access. A's have a good out-of-town scoreboard. It's nice and big. You can read it. It's simple. And you know what? Our question is going to be answered by Brody Brazil. Brody, take it away.
All right, here we are beyond the left field fence. We are actually inside the out-of-town scoreboard. This is Joel Madsen, who's running the American League scores tonight. And Joel, a lot of new stadiums have that LED technology, but here in Oakland, it's all done by hand.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a unique feature. I mean, a lot of the stadiums have gone to the new LEDs, but, you know, we do it, you know, kind of how it's always been done in baseball, you know, by hand with a little elbow grease, and we try to keep the fans up to date with what's going on around the league, you know?
Now, this isn't a bad job, right? Here you are watching 2 baseball games. You've got the internet to keep updated on scores. Is it really as simple as this?
It's actually fairly simple, yes, but it's important. You know, you're sitting out in the stands, you have no idea what's going on around the league, and I'm right here, and at my fingertips is every score. I'm up to date. It's kind of like being at a sports bar or whatnot, watching the game, except I do have to pay attention and put the updates there for the rest of the fans to keep in touch with.
Just show us the tools in your trade. It looks like you have every number and team matchup possible here.
Yeah, pretty much what you see here is we have stacks of every number 0 through 9, and then we have N's for night, R for rain, we have F for final, obviously, and then we have the team names. So, and we just basically use those in different slots. What you'll see here is visiting pitcher, you know, and everything. You have to remember the number's backwards. So you're looking at it, it looks like a 72, but it's actually 27 was the starting pitcher in Toronto today. And you know, it can be a little confusing. You have to remember, you have to do the little every time you put a number in, but it's not that confusing, you know. Pretty much it's still just numbers, basic putting in a sign, you know.
Now the funny thing is there's really only one spot in this out-of-town scoreboard where you can actually see through. You can see through a little crack and actually watch the game, right? Otherwise you can't see what's going on right out here.
Yeah, you're relegated to watch it on TV just like anybody else at home. It's a lot of people say, "Oh, that's cool. You're at the game. You know, the field." And the only as close to the game as we get is if a ball goes off the scoreboard. If someone hits a double, you hear this really loud bang, and it'll like kind of rings in your ear. Outside of that, you're pretty much watching it as if you were at home or whatnot. So
At Awake, yeah. All right, out here in the left field, out-of-town scoreboard. It's a place you'd really never otherwise see, right, Joel?
No, I don't know too many people outside of a select few who work for the A's that get to see it.
Yeah, all right, well, we just took you there on Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, thanks, Joel. Thanks, Brody. Strike 3 called to Jack Cuss, so 2 out. But you know what I like about the A's scoreboard, Ray, because it's manually done.
It's clean.
It's clean. It's easy to read, and you know that when somebody scores a run, it goes up right away.
Yeah.
Whereas the digital out-of-town scoreboards in other parks they're very nice, but sometimes you may be waiting, and it'll be like, well, they've been in the 8th inning for 45 minutes. And then all of a sudden it'll jump ahead 2 innings. Whereas here, you know it's up to speed. I guess is the phrase I'm looking for.
Well, we had the opportunity to go to Fenway Park, and there's none better than the out-of-town scoreboard at Fenway. And I said clean here because at Fenway, there's so many rodents out there that you're taking your life in your own hand when you walk out there. And that's why at Fenway, I mean, you could go probably take a nap and sleep out here. Maybe you could sleep overnight, day game after night game, not have to worry about it. You know.
So when you say clean, I thought you meant it looks clean from the outside. You're talking
inside.
Inside.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he could probably have dinner out there and not worry about it. You cannot do that at Fenway.
No.
I mean, there's
a few things going on.
Yeah, and I've been out at Fenway, and wow. That stadium's older than dirt anyway. So, I mean, you figure that a lot of things have happened there. But, you know, a lot of times, too, in the out-of-town scoreboards, for example, here, let's say the A's in contention, and you're looking up and you're seeing the score, L.A., Seattle, for example, and you're trying to fight Seattle or L.A. for the division. You can play around with it a little bit. You know, you can also show that, say, they've lost. And I remember a great one here. I can't remember the exact year, but I think Tony Phillips hit a home run. At the same time, the out-of-town scoreboard dropped a loss for the team the A's were chasing. And in a matter of seconds, you see the loss there and the celebration here. And that was so exciting to see that happen. But that's what the out-of-town scoreboard, it keeps you up to date, especially you get down to the pennant races, down the stretch, and you can see all those things happening. And if you're in a contention, man, it's really exciting because you can follow it firsthand and see everything that's going on.
Well, and you know, there's one of the things that fans look at a lot at a ball game is the scoreboard and the out-of-town scoreboard. And I look at it all the time. And even if your team, the A's case, is not in contention, you still have curiosity what's going on in the other games. And that happens in every ballpark.
You have to be wondering what's going on in Florida. It's 11:04 there.
Long
rain delay. That's Tim Hudson's start. And
that's right.
And so that's going to be a late night in Florida because all the other Fs are East Coast games, and that's the beauty of being on the West Coast. You can see all those completions. And again, if you're, I've seen teams, and I remember the Blue Jays came into town several years ago where they were neck and neck. And it was almost like they looked up and they saw the team that they were either chasing or close. That team had already lost. It was like, well, we're not going to lose ground. Well, that's the time to pick up a game. And it kind of worked in reverse because they knew the outcome of the game back on the East Coast.
Towards center field, Josh Anderson back and now in. And he's got it, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Kyle Davies. Ray, guess who we're going to go see next?
Chef Rodney.
Chef Rodney. It's a big moment for my partner and I. We'll be back.
Every time the A's win, Wells Fargo will contribute $300 to the Wells Fargo Educator Fund.
One game, top of the fifth. Good eats, as always, at the Coliseum. Martin, first pitch swinging, fouls it back. Well, it's time to go into Chef Rodney's kitchen. That is where Brody Brazil is.
Well, I thought I'd been everywhere in the Coliseum, but this is a brand new one for me. We're here in the main kitchen with Chef Rodney Nestergaard. Rodney, this is pretty cool. How many cooks and how many assistants do you have down here on a regular day?
I have one full-time assistant, executive sous chef, and we have 36 to 53 cooks depending on the event.
It's pretty busy around here. Let's see what you got going on. You got some chili being made over here and that pizza, I understand?
Yeah, right now we're making a large batch of chili. We do an in-house steak chili. It's one of our specialties in the suites for the season. And these are the pizzas that are for diamond level.
Most people think of the stadium as not really a place you'd come to eat, but you guys almost treat this whole facility, the Coliseum, like a restaurant, really.
The tastes of people have changed quite a bit over the years. I mean, people still want their hot dog, they still want their cold beer, but they're also looking for a little bit of variety and some updated menus, so definitely it has changed.
This is what I'm looking for right here. Now, we saw all of the hot food preparation being done there in the back, but here's the freezer, and there's some cold items in here.
Correct. Basically, our kitchen's broken up in half: hot food, cold food. The cold food has been produced starting at about 11 o'clock this morning, and this is where it sits waiting to go up into the suites. Shrimp cocktail, 7-layer dip. What you can see here is some chicken Caesar salad, of course, cookie platters. We've got some sandwiches that were just made. This is our individual 7-layer dip in a cosmopolitan glass. So anything that's cold food started being made earlier today, and this is it.
Well, it doesn't get much more all access than this. We're here in the freezer room at the Coliseum.
That's our man, huh?
Chef Rodney, and the only thing he could do better than that is bring up some sliders or some crab sandwiches.
And we're not talking about a slider from the pitcher either.
No. He spoiled us with the sliders and even the banana splits. Those were really special.
Mark Teahan, a strikeout. Miguel Oliva, a fly ball to center field. Edgar Gonzalez facing Josh Anderson. So Edgar Gonzalez pitching well. 5 strikeouts. He has not walked anybody. He has thrown 61 pitches. Two and one to Josh Anderson, who grounded out to second in the 3rd inning. A 1-1 game. He's got their run in the bottom of the 1st on a Rajai Davis home run. Royals scored their run in the 2nd on a 2-out single by Miguel Olivo, and it scored Cayasco. Big curve from Gonzalez, drops low. 3-2 to Anderson. Betancourt in the on-deck circle. So what does a starting pitcher do on the nights when he's not pitching?
Talks baseball. He helps other pitchers.
Line drive, hooked foul. It's fun watching starters always sit together.
Yeah. They can compare notes. I think it's great that they sit together and they can talk. And it's always also very nice to see a pitcher talking to a position player and getting his idea of what he's thinking about in certain situations.
First walk of the night by Edgar Gonzalez. It comes with 2 outs to Josh Anderson. And if you're
Number 3,
a young starting pitcher, certainly the A's have
Betancourt.
a handful of those. Get close to a veteran.
Yeah, one of them's warming up in the bullpen right now. Jerry Blevins, one of 5 lefties, so he can. Or no, that's Jay Marshall. See, now we don't even know.
Got 5 lefties.
Plus,
folks.
Jay's thrown over the top instead of his submarine delivery, so that messed me up. Yeah, there he goes back to his normal submarine. So 5 lefties in the bullpen. That's a manager's dream. Talking about matchups. So Edgar at 66 pitches, and as a result, that's why Kurt Young went out to talk to him and why Jay Marshall is getting loose in the bullpen.
He's going to be joined by, it looks like, Jeff Gray. So Ron Romanek doing his thing down there in the 5th inning.
Might as well have a cell phone with a Bluetooth. He doesn't have to pick up the phone. Of course, in spring training, they'll use walkie-talkies or cell phones. Actually, this spring, I think I saw Kurt Young and Ron with cell phones because they don't have bullpen phones in spring training, or at least not at Phoenix Muni. Or maybe they weren't working, but so it's much easier to keep in touch by calling cell phone. Ron Romanek will pick the cap up off his head and kind of tip it towards the dugout, indicating the pitcher who's warming up is ready.
Anderson goes, swing and a miss, the throw to second base, not in time. Anderson with a steal.
Well, Edgar with a high leg kick. Kurt Suzuki, a little bit of a high throw and a little sidearm, and Mark Ellis trying to tag quickly But it was Anderson getting his hand in on the bag with a head first slide as Mark tagged him on the backside.
So Betancourt now with a chance to give the Royals the lead here in the 5th. But he's behind in the count 0-2. Betancourt, a free swinger. He's hit .239 overall, .222 with the Royals. Of course, he came over from the Seattle Mariners earlier this year. Jam shot. Mark Ellis is going to come in, and he makes the catch, and the Royals do not score. So bottom of the 5th coming up. It's a 1-1 game. Sweeney, Ellis, and Barton will hit for the A's. But before that happens, we were talking about a veteran starter. The A's have been looking for one, and they have found one in Brett Tomko, and Brett is standing by downstairs. So, Brett, what do you do on the nights you're not pitching? Do you talk baseball? Do you get bored in the dugout? Tell us about it.
A little bit of both. I mean, sometimes we're out here a lot, so you see a lot of the same stuff, but we try to stick together and, you know, watch the game, and especially if we're facing that team, you try to pick up on anything you can that
the experience you had with Greg Maddux as a teammate and a very special pitcher, 350 wins, going to the Hall of Fame as soon as he's eligible. What was that experience like for you, and how much did you learn from him to help maybe some of the other younger pitchers?
That was a lot of fun. You know, he was definitely different than what I expected. Real low key, real simple approach to the game, which, you know, was refreshing for me because I thought I was going to get into it with him and I was going to have to take notes and catalog everything, but his philosophy was real simple about pitching. You know, attack the strike zone, keep the ball down. You know, stuff that we know, but it was nice to hear it coming from him, someone that's had so much success, that, you know, try to simplify the game. Don't make it too complex, and trust your abilities and go out there and do what you can and what you think you can.
Now, Brett, how do you handle the situation where you are a veteran guy, but you've only been here a couple weeks? Now, the A's have all these young starters, and we're talking about passing on information, but do you go to the young guys? Do you wait for them to come to you? I mean, how does that work since you've only been around a short period of time?
I think it's been real easy. These young kids are very receptive. They'd come up to me. I try not to say too much unless they come up, but I feel like, you know, I've made enough mistakes that, you know, anything they go through, I've probably been through it and probably worse than they'll ever have it. So, you know, if I can kind of, you know, give them a little advice and try to help them, I feel like, you know, not only if I'm pitching well, I'm doing my job that way.
You know, Brett, again, talking to you and seeing since you joined the club, and a little bit unconventional. Starting pitchers, usually they hide the day they're pitching. You don't see them and you don't want to talk to them yet. You're out stretching with the guys on the field, and some of your teammates say, what are you doing here? You're pitching. Like, kind of explain your philosophy as far as the day you pitch, maybe compared totally different from most of the other starters.
That's actually something I got from Maddux too. I would see him out, you know, during batting practice and kind of walking around. And to me, the part I hated most about starting is you know, the 2 hours before the game. So to kind of take my mind off and try to relax, I would go out and you know, stretch with the team and walk around for maybe the first round of BP and kind of take my mind off it, and then I have less time to be by myself in the clubhouse.
Brett, you've been in this game a long time. Do you have a guy that comes to mind if I said who's the craziest starting pitcher you ever played with? As far as sitting on the bench during the game, talking, laughing, do you have a couple guys in mind?
When I came up, we had Pete Harnish and Dave Burba, and they were crazy guys, I'm telling you. And I'll tell you what, these guys have it real easy because those guys were as hard as anybody could be on a rookie. So I learned a lot from them. I'm not like them. I don't abuse, you know, the young guys. I like to have fun, but they were definitely a handful and made it real tough on me, but it was a lot of fun. I definitely will always remember that.
You know, I was pleasantly surprised and very happy to hear you talk about, again, in Anaheim, how from the time the Yankees let you go, the A's picked you up, you changed your delivery, something that you had not done since you were 12, and we hope to see Thursday some of your past deliveries and your new one. Kind of explain how that all developed and how much it's helped you.
You know, I was sitting working out at the gym and trying to do some mirror work, and just, I feel like you always need to kind of tinker and see if something is going to be a little bit better than what you got. And, I kind of went over my head to see if it would fix a problem I have with drifting a little bit. And it did. So it was something I tried in a couple of bullpens, playing catch, and it felt good. So I decided I was going to take it in the game and see how it would work. And it felt completely normal. And I think it's fixed one of my major problems that I was having, throughout most of my career. And, I think you can always learn, and you're never too old. If these young guys can teach me something, I'm going to listen to them, because you never know what you're going to pick up.
And Brett, tell us about baseball is your first love, but your artistry. I know that's a big thing for you, and we found out today your father is where you got it from, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, my dad actually won a contest when he was 28 and named the Cleveland Cavaliers in Ohio, and he actually drew the original logo that they used. And it's kind of a cool little family history thing, but I always could draw as a young kid, and when I went to school, high school, I took one class and it turned into 4 years of it, and then it was an easy no-brainer that I was going to go to college and I wanted to be a graphic artist. And I always say I was going to be an artist, and baseball kind of got in the way and sidetracked me. So I've kept it going. I got a little bit of a clientele with some of the players, and I've done paintings for them. I do a lot of charity work and whatever I can do, but it's fun. It's fun to get the paints out. I take them on the road, and I throw a canvas up on the wall after the game and just get after it.
That's great.
That is great.
The most important question right now is, with a 6-man rotation, you're going to pitch Thursday. You and your wife, Julie, are expecting twins. How's it going to work out with the rotation? And I know you're going to be home for the birth, but how's it going to work out with regard to the rotation?
Well, she's scheduled on September 18th, and that's the C-section date. So I don't know how they're going to jockey it around. I know my start falls a day behind, or I'm not sure kind of how we're going to do it. We're still on pins and needles. It's one of those things that could happen any day. We know it's not going to go longer than September 18th, but however it works out, I'm going to try not to miss a start. If it's something where I got to fly back up the day of the game and then hustle back home to be with her, I'm going to do whatever I have to do. But we're really excited, really nervous, but it's going to be a good day.
So it should be a good off season for you.
Well, yeah, it should be a busy off season. No sleep.
And Brett, there are 15 other pitchers. So,
right.
If you have to miss, let 10 relievers put thrown in a piece. Come on.
I didn't pitch that much this year in New York, so any start I can get, I want to be there for.
Right.
But we got a lot of people, and I'm sure they'll do whatever they can to kind of make it easy on me. But we're super excited. I'm trying to get my sleep in the next 2 weeks.
Well, I thought it was very interesting. You were talking about how things work out for Raising. You got a chance to be home with your wife after the Yankees and before the A's, and it just kind of worked out special for you.
Yeah, because when I went to New York, when I left for the after the All-Star break, I thought that was going to be the last time I saw her till she gave birth, and it's been really good, because I got to spend about 2-3 weeks at home with her, and she's been absolutely a trooper, and I have a whole new respect for her and what she's gone through. So, she wants those babies out of here pretty soon to get back to normal life, because she's getting to the point where she's uncomfortable.
All right, Brett, thanks for joining us, and again, good luck the rest of the year, and good luck with the twins.
Appreciate it, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks. Twin boys.
Twin boys. That'd be great.
Thank you.
All right. So Brett Tomko, letting us know what a starting pitcher does the days he's not pitching.
Well, I was impressed what he does when he goes back to the room when he puts the canvas up.
That's something.
I mean, that is really something. Craig Breslow, talking about him, he kind of put his education, if you will, or being a doctor kind of on the back burner, because he wants to participate as long as possible with baseball. And I tell you, for Brett Tomko to know that when his career is over, he's 36 and he's got a lot of life left, to be able to know that he has that to fall back on, that is outstanding.
3-2 pitch is a little bit low. So the A's have 2 on and 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Still a 1-1 game.
They might as well score a couple of runs and get Edgar Gonzalez a win. Looks like he is finished. Going to the bullpen after a great 5 innings by Edgar. 1 run on 3 hits. He probably feels like he could go more. He has the jacket on one arm, one shoulder, which sometimes indicates that he might be coming out. But with the bullpen ready to go, Jay Marshall has been up the half inning, so it looks like he's going to be coming in.
He's looking for a hit from Adam Kennedy. The first pitch, he takes a rip and fouls it right into the camera well. So 0-1 the count. Kennedy, a ground ball to short, and then he hit into a 4-6-3 double play. A very nice double play turned by the Royals. That big curveball, Davies has a good one. 0-2, Davies with 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. The A's have 4 hits against him, and he has thrown 77 pitches.
The thing that helps Davies is he throws the curveball right over the top, just like his other pitches, and he throws it hard. So you gear up for the fastball, and it's almost like Michael Wirtz's slider that looks like a splitter, and most of them out of the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. So Kennedy strikes out, and the A's strand a pair in the bottom of the 5th. So we head to the 6th. It's a 1-1 game. When we come back, we'll head upstairs to the press box. See what goes on there. 1-1 game. Cache Creek is giving away $999 in cash every hour of every day in September. Visit cachecreek.com for details. Top of the 6th inning from the Coliseum. It's a 1-1 game. Jay Marshall is the new pitcher. So Marshall will face the top of the order. So let's find out where Brody Brazil is. He's close.
Yeah,
he's right there.
Turn around. I'm right here. Hey, there you are. What's happening? We're inside the A's broadcast booth. This is where Glenn and Ray do all of their tremendous work. This is the TV side. We'll show you one other thing in here real quick. This is the radio side. And you see Vince Cotroneo calling the game right there, doing a heck of a job. All right, this is the press box. This is a place that obviously fans, they don't really get to go. They're not allowed. So we're going to show you this on television. Now, one thing, maybe a little embarrassed to show you, but the A's give out free hot dogs. I pound those things every single game. There they are. All right. We're going to show you the visiting announce booth right there. Those are the Royals broadcasters doing their version of tonight's game. And ultimately, we get here down to the end of the press box, and this is the print writer section. And, of course, you know her. This is Susan Slusser, the writer for the San Francisco Chronicle. And, Susan, one thing about the press box here, and I'm lowering my voice, you can tell, it's very quiet up here.
It is a little quiet. A lot of people are working. People are starting to be on deadline, especially the Kansas City writers. Obviously, their deadlines are a little earlier than ours because of the time difference. So they're hard at work right now.
Now, you guys, basically, it's just a laptop setup. Some of you guys have binoculars, you have cell phones, everything you need to communicate, but it's just as simple as that. You watch the game, and really, you take everything you've learned from before the game, what you're watching, and what you'll talk about after the game, and really compose it right here.
I think most of us at this point have filed at least 1 or 2 stories already, maybe blogged, Twittered a little bit, but there's, of course, the game still to cover, so yeah, you try to get as much done as possible before the game starts, and then you've got to watch the game and get right to work again.
There is some fun up here, but for the most part, it's a very professional environment, right?
Right, no cheering in the press box. We're pretty careful.
And have to put the stories together, and so they need the quiet time just like they're in a work environment. Granted, with a baseball game going on in front of them, that's what they're writing about. And they have their set up, their social score, and but they have the areas that are set up. The writers who are here every game have their preferential seating, and then there's another auxiliary booth to our left down towards the first base side. The auxiliary booth where you have the overflow. The Yankees are in town, the Red Sox, they have hundreds of people traveling, and literally, I mean, there are people who come along, and to the point that a lot of times they set up a section in the outfield, in the bleachers or someplace, but for the overflow.
It's Bob Rose, Director of Media Relations for the Athletics. Keeps a close eye on everybody in that.
Great sight lines, and there's no doubt that they put the broadcast booths, try to put them as directly behind the home plate area as possible to get the best view. And of course, Mike, our high home camera guy tonight, he has the best view as well, shooting the high home camera.
And there he is.
There's Mike. That's BI in the background.
Where's BI?
BI back here.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's him right there. A rally for the Royals. 2 on and nobody out. So Jeff Gray to face Billy Butler. So Jay Marshall came on to face 2 left-handed hitters, and they both got hits off him. So Gray making his 13th appearance. So he's going to try to work his way out of the jam. 2-0. Butler struck out looking and then had a triple. In the dirt, 3-0.
Now Jeff Gray has a good sinker, but get it in the strike zone, might get a double play. Butler tonight, a long fly ball and a slow curve from Edgar Gonzalez, also struck out in the first inning when Edgar struck out the side.
And that one way inside, and Jeff Gray was not close. 4-pitch walk, and now the bases are loaded and nobody out.
Number 17, Mike Jacobs.
Well, the bullpen is quiet, so at least for right now it's quiet.
Remember, Kurt Suzuki reminds Jeff Gray, ground ball to you, you throw to me. That's called a 1-2-3 double play. I don't know if Miguel Oliva said that last night to John Bale because he threw to second with the bases loaded. Threw the ball in center field.
Jacobs got a fastball, took it that big swing, and he fouled it straight back. .188 average with the bases loaded this year for the Royals. Bounce toward Barton, who's coming home, and they get the out. that big bounce, and Barton grabbed it and made a nice throw home. So 1 out, the bases will remain loaded.
That's a great play because no chance for a double play. The A's were playing back. So Barton did it perfectly. Watch Kurt Suzuki put his right foot on the plate, but as the runner was coming in to try to take him out, just lifted the foot, avoided any contact, and the catcher is vulnerable because it's just like a middle infielder turning a double play. De Jesus did not try to take out Kurt Suzuki, but he could have. Could have gone after him with a slide, kind of a hook slide. But he was just concentrating on getting 1 out with Suzuki, and he did exactly that.
So here's Alberto Callaspo. Callaspo was 2 for 4 last night. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He had 3 RBIs in last night's game, so he's been tough out in this series. And he lines one to right center field, and that's going to get down for a hit, and that's going to drive home a pair. Callaspo, a big turn. So a 2-run single for Callaspo as Meyer and Butler both come in to score.
Well, the ball was elevated a little bit too much to get the ground ball that the A's were hoping for, and Callaspo has really hurt the A's already in the first 2 games of the series.
5 RBIs now. He has 52 on the year. So here's Mark Tian. Tian is 0 for 2 in the ball game. 1 for 6 in the series. He had a double, and he swings and misses. Looks like Gray's ball is really moving a lot tonight.
Maybe too much. Yeah, as was the case with the first batter, Butler. Try to get the movement and try to make an adjustment as he did maybe with Callaspo, and the ball stayed up too much. And he was able to get the hit.
1-1 the count. Jacobs at third, Callaspo at first. Gray ahead in the count. He had a ground out and a strikeout in the ball game. Both of those at bats coming against Edgar Gonzalez, who went 5 innings and gave up just the 1 run. Broken bat, center field, that'll drop for a hit. A run comes in to score. That's Jacobs, and it's 4-1. So Tehan picks up his 46th RBI. Callaspo goes to second, stops.
Number 21, Miguel Olivo.
So a 3-run 6th inning for the Royals.
And Tehan hit it just right. Crack, sound of the bat, breaking, but strong enough to get it in the outfield. So the A's, as they did last night, are going to have to try to come back tonight. They're down 4-0 last night, head 5-4. Tie score, and ultimately won it with some help from the Royals.
Miguel Olivo, an RBI single in the 2nd inning, and then a fly ball to center field in the 5th. Still just 1 out here in the 6th. Pop up, and it's going to reach the seats. Four hits in the inning for the Royals. Just a bit high. They had just 3 hits through the first 5 innings. Pennington to Ellis for one, and that's the only out the A's will get. Ball just was not hit hard enough. So Olivo is aboard at first on the fielder's choice. Callaspo now at third.
Number 1, Josh Anderson.
So Josh Anderson, the left-handed hitter, will step in. Josh Anderson started the year with the Tigers, but Tigers traded him to the Royals on the 30th of July for cash considerations. Jerry Blevins is up and throwing now in the A's bullpen. Anderson, a ground out to second. That was in the third inning, and he walked and stole the base in the fifth, but did not score.
Good curveball, good two-seam fastball from Gray to this at batter. Kurt Suzuki came back out again to give the sign in the event. There's a double steal thrown by the Royals.
Strike 3 call. 3 pitches. Anderson strikes out. But a good inning for the Royals. They score 3 times. Bottom of the 6th, coming up 4-1 Kansas City. Burger with grilled pineapple is back at Carl's Jr. Bottom of the 6th inning, the A's trailing 4-1. Rajai Davis leads things off, and just down to our left here in the broadcast booth is the A's Spanish radio broadcast with the great Amaury P. Gonzalez. You know what, Ray? Let's listen in.
Tus artículos directos de la fuente, la tienda de losatléticos.com. Todo listo para Rajai Davis, quien tiene home run en 2 turnos al bate. Lanzamiento en camino, strike cantado por el centro. Rajai despachó su tercer home run del año en el primer inning. Después murió de pitcher a primera en el tercero. Lanzamiento de Davis en camino, poquito alta es bola. Y la cuenta una bola, un strike. Así de un Davis al otro, de Kyle Davis a Rajai Davis. 4-1 ganando Kansas City. En el wind-up el derecho, lanzamiento. Le tiras un foul a los asientos detrás del plato al primer piso. Y la cuenta una bola y 2 strikes en Rajai.
Una labor sólida hasta ahora para el abridor de los Reales, Kyle Davis. El único daño se lo ha hecho precisamente el otro Davis. Bueno, este se escribe un poquito diferente, que él lleva una E antes de la S. Ese es jonrón en el primer episodio. De lo demás, una labor inmaculada para Kyle Davis.
Se pronuncian iguales, pero se escriben diferentes. Una bola, 2 strikes. Bola baja la segunda, 2-2. Rajai se ha robado 30 bases hasta la fecha. El último hombre que se robó 30 bases por Oakland fue Ricky Henderson en 1998. Ahí viene el lanzamiento. Bola, la tercera. Cuenta máxima, 3 bolas, 2 strikes. Suzuki está en el círculo de espera. Acto seguido Jack Cuss. Aquí en la tanda baja del sexto, los Reales de Kansas City contra los Atléticos. Lanzamiento en camino. Strike 3 y se poncha. Lo ponchan a Rajay con una recta por el centro del plato, 92 millas por hora. Se poncha Davis, una a bases limpias y al bate vendrá Kurt Suzuki.
That was fun. Amorti Gonzalez, long time Major League Baseball announcer, 31st year doing Major League Baseball, and started his career with the Athletics in 1977.
I thought I was back in Venezuela.
That sounds great, doesn't it?
Yeah. Punch out, home run. Segunda base. Receptor, lanzador.
2-0 to Kurt Suzuki. So the A's now trailing 4-1. Suzuki, a ground out to short and a foul out to first, so he's 0 for 2. So how many times did you say the A's ground screw drags the field during the game?
Twice.
Twice. Okay.
Well, regulation 9 innings.
Okay. So what, 3rd inning, 6th inning?
Yep.
All right.
Bottom 6th.
So they're probably getting ready to do it then, right?
Yes, they are. Here we go, play some dirt. Because Edgar Gonzalez did not play with dirt tonight.
He did not.
But did a good job, though.
Well, that means the gang is ready, and their fearless leader is our head groundskeeper, Clay Wood. He's got a mic on. Clay, you hear us okay?
I can hear you guys.
All right, you guys ready to go?
We are.
Hey, Clay, now we talk about you, but your boys get upset. So why don't you introduce the folks to your ground crew?
All right. I got Luis here. We got
Luis?
Francis.
Yep.
Efren. Leo. Alvino. The animal.
Animal.
The one and only. And then the champion.
So you have, what, 6 plus you? Is that what I see?
We have seven guys here.
7 total.
Yes.
And we go back to Baltimore, they got 30? 30 in Detroit?
They get a lot of rain there. They don't have to deal with that.
Well, we've laughed, Clay, a couple times. If we move the tarp here at the Coliseum, what would happen? Would there be things moving underneath there?
Possibly. Cats, rats. We just don't know.
So you guys break the field twice during the game, right? 3rd and 6th inning.
We do.
Why?
It just gives a fresh surface for the infielders. Every 3 innings they start with it clean, and then they'll get it clean again in the 3rd, and then again after the 6th. So, that's just give them an opportunity for hopefully good hops and good true balls when they're hit to them.
Now I see the guys have some bases. You change the bases too, and why?
Mainly just for a clean look, but at night sometimes they do get a little wet. When the dirt's wet, they can get slick, so we like to give them fresh bases as well.
Well, you're in high definition, so that's also the reason to make sure everything is crisp, right?
Exactly. High def.
How'd you get this field ready to look so nice after football?
Well, I got a good crew. We had a
How much
day
paint?
Sunday.
How much paint?
Just 7.5 gallons, mixed with about 300 gallons of water.
Was it a spray?
Yeah, it was just for Cliffy Clavin.
And so the uniforms got paint. You're trying to see if Cliffy could get the paint off the units. How about all the paint? Cliffy said he could not get the paint off your clothes. He tried, but he could not.
Yeah. Well, I think it was Animal shirt. He tried to get some grease out of it or something. He couldn't do it.
So, Clay, does each guy do the same thing each time you go out and drag the diamond, or do you guys change it up? How does that work?
Yeah, each guy pretty much does the same thing every time. Everybody knows where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to do, so it works out well.
All right, well, we're going to continue to talk to you while you head out there when the inning is over. Now, what is your responsibility being the man in charge?
Well, I like to go out and rake first base area and kind of at second base where they slide, and then at third base in the corners where the corners tend to get a little more choppy, just with holding guys on, the runners leading off and things like that. So I like to hit those with a rake before they drag them, and then just kind of clean up at the end.
Yeah. Well, we have a camera on you.
That's
we're going
right.
to be watching you. So
now, Clay, you don't put the tarp on. Like I said, back east where they have some rain, they put the tarp on. You don't do that here. What's your regimen after the game and getting ready for the 12:35 start tomorrow? Kind of take us through between now and then.
Well, after the game, we'll basically go out and fix up everything, drag the infield, repair the holes in the mounds, home plates, on both the game mound, the bullpen mounds, drag the base paths, hand water the infield. Night game to day game, we won't run the sprinklers right around the infield dirt to try to, make sure it doesn't get too wet. So we hand water those areas. Basically, come back in about starting at 7 tomorrow morning and do it all again.
How much sleep do you get during the season?
Not a lot. That depends on what time my kids wake up. And if the wife will let me sleep in or not.
And now we talked about it, and I know you give a lot of credit to the folks who actually take the center field bleachers down from Mount Davis for football, but the time that it takes to change the field over from football, baseball to football, etc. What's the time element of that? And especially when you're kind of a short time, you play a football game, say, on a Sunday, and the A's are playing Monday night.
Well, being the field, we're at the mercy of those guys. So when they work, as hard as they do, and they've tried to figure out ways to make it faster, which helps us out. And taking the bleachers out, they've got it down to where they can do it in about 10 to 12 hours. But, they still, even after that's over, you still have to get the plywood off the field and all the stadium, the field box, the field level boxes, diamond level, backstop, outfield wall, all that stuff has to go up. And, unfortunately, the warning track is the roadway for all that. So, we're really at the mercy of those guys, and they all work hard to make sure that we can do our job. And, we just have to deal with the time that we have and just try to stay on the same page with everybody.
Well, you do a terrific job, Clay. I know it's very difficult, but for the first 5 months of the season, the field is immaculate. First 4 months of the season.
Yeah, well, we try. I got a great crew, and we take a lot of pride in what we do, and it's just we kind of prepare ourselves for that every year. We know it's coming, and we usually know it's going to be sometime in either early or mid-August, and just kind of prep for it and just do the best that you can.
Clay, I know when the A's have their fan fest, depending on the weather, they let the folks down on the field, but when the season begins, and as far as you can come out here and you play football, you get that finish, you resod the whole field. What happens to get ready for baseball after the football season's over?
Yeah, after football's over, the turf under the bleachers is basically dirt. After being under there for 4 or 5 months with no sunlight, no water. So we have to take everything out.
Just a reminder,
easy tricky.
At the ballpark.
We have to take everything out.
The game is at 6, but all the pregame festivities start at 5:30.
I'm losing you guys.
Get those tickets.
You hear us all right?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
All right, we got you. You're doing it at first base.
Well, we laser grade, bring a new sod for everything. It's about a 2.5, 3 week process. And we basically start with a new field every year.
Clay, you ever say anything to the players? Like, hey, how you guys doing? Or
sometimes it depends. Depends on how their at-bat went. Guys strike out or something, you don't want to say too much.
How about as far as infielders asking for certain things? I know you talked about Mark Ellis at second, Eric Chavez at third, two of the guys been there the longest. You have some of the new guys, but any requests, special requests from players?
Not a lot. We try to provide a consistent surface, and hopefully the guys like it. If they have special requests, we're more than happy to try to accommodate those. But for the most part, we've been pretty successful, and guys seem to like it. And like I said, if they do want something different, we'll try to give it to them.
Well, listen to you breathe. Do you think you could go home to third on a triple?
I don't know. I don't know how long it would take. I could do it. I just don't know how long it would take.
Take a little break at second base.
Probably
That's what
a lot longer
do.
than it used to.
Yeah, I must say we're all impressed because you and your crew, all 7, decked out, coordinated. That's impressive. Where did this all come from?
We just try to be on the same page if we can. It's a nice night. Everybody can wear the same thing. So that's what we do.
Hey, Clay, awesome job. Kudos to your guys as well. Give them a thumbs up. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
You got it. Thumbs up, fellas.
All right.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks, man.
All right. He's a good man, Clay Wood. We have a lot of fun with Clay, but There's a lot of good people that work in the A's organization, and Clay Wood is indeed one of them, and he's got a tough job.
You know, Clay told me that he got the job when it was just baseball. And shortly after he agreed and came to terms with the A's to be the head groundskeeper, the Raiders decided to come back.
Thanks a lot.
Exactly. So, needless to say, what he thought he was getting into was just magnified. And also, they have concerts. And he talks about the plywood they put on the field.
That's what really does the damage.
In the outfield. And he was telling me tonight, I actually did an interview with him for tomorrow for the A's warm-up on radio, but he was saying had they not had the bleachers on the field for the 8 days because of the Raider Nation Fan Fest, he said the grass was so strong that had they gotten the plywood up, he said it wouldn't have looked as bad as it did coming back off that last road trip to the first football game when it looked like neon in center field. Remember how bright it looked, like the sun was shining at nighttime? But, you know, a little paint makes it look good, and that's what happened. He had the extra 24 hours because they played Saturday, and the A's came back home to play last night, so he had yesterday to be able to make the field look presentable, and he did a great job because from up here, it looks great.
Yeah.
Number 35.
I'm not an expert, but sun and water is good for grass.
Yes, it is. And if you cover it with plywood,
you're 0 for 2. But it does look good.
Yeah, and that's in high definition too. You know, so why new bases, clean bases, nicely raked infield, and you can see the difference too in the moisture that's in the dirt tonight by comparison tomorrow for the day game. It's going to brighten up as it dries out.
Shallow left center. It's going to be Scott Hairston. Takes care of it. So Jeff Gay, 3 up, 3 down inning. 7th inning stretch. It's 4-1 the Royals over the A's. And it's time to check in with Diamond Vision. Brody Brazil, take it away.
Well, Glenn, if you watch the game at home, obviously you're watching our production with Comcast Sportsnet. But if you're here at the Coliseum, you're watching these guys. This is Diamond Vision. This is up on the press level. And these guys work extra hard during the game, basically doing exactly what we do here on television, but just for all the fans and attendants. We're going to come down here and show you the whole operation. As you can see, there's 2 levels here. Upstairs, we've got all the graphics and tapes and things like that. Downstairs here, we've got the PA announcer, Dick Hallahan. We're going to talk to him in 1 second. But first, we're going to get over to Jeff here, who is in charge of really all the Diamond Vision crew here. And Jeff,
hey, Brody,
what's going on here?
Well, let me tell you, right now we're in the middle of the 7th inning stretch, and as soon as we're done with the 7th inning stretch, Jake's going to announce the new pitcher, and then go for the batter. And so basically, what you're now standing in is called Diamond Vision Control Room, and it's the brains of the operation.
What do you got?
Stand by.
Oh, he's a busy man. Just checking to see what's going on here. We got a pitching change, and the 7th inning stretch just ended. You see Jeff here is busy talking to the producers and the directors here. And this is a full swing operation, kind of exactly like I said before, kind of what we do on television. There you see a technical director and the switcher and all the camera access they have, and this is to show you things like replay in the stadium. So a very intricate effort that they have here at Diamond Vision. And of course, they've been doing this for a whole long time. All right, we're going to head over here towards Dick Callahan, who is the public address announcer at the Coliseum. Dick, I got to tell you, this is a pleasure because I've been growing up listening to your voice all the way back to these shooting 2 days.
Oh, my Brody, you're not that old, are you?
No, not really, but I remember those days.
Sounds good.
Talk about your job here at the Coliseum.
Just give me 1 second, if you will.
He's got to make an announcement. Check this out.
For the Athletics, leading off the bottom of the 7th inning, right fielder, number 15, Ryan Sweeney. Sorry about that.
So, you got to do your job.
We got to do.
So you know what I'm going to ask you? How do you get your voice to sound like that?
You know, I don't know. I think it's the audio guys next door that are able to do something to make it sound so good, right? But the system here is really good. It really is a good sound system. And if you project your voice correctly and you get some help from a system like this, it really does. It really come out pretty good. So it works out pretty good. But some people think it's a ventriloquist, and I'm not really doing it. If somebody down the hall does it.
Pulling your strings.
Yeah.
Now, people here in the Bay Area love your voice. Do you love your job as much as they love your voice?
I love it, absolutely love it. This is a great place. It's a great place to work. It's a great organization to be with. The guys up here are fabulous. I mean, this is like a palace of fine arts up here. These guys are really great to work with, and I love doing it. It's a lot of fun. It's an oasis for me. It's a great place to come because it's a relief from all the other business deals you do on a regular basis. And I love the sport. I love being involved with it. It's a terrific experience. It's really a lot of fun.
The last thing I'm going to ask you, I'm sure a lot of people ask you this, and I think I know what the answer is. You don't get nervous to do this, do you?
Well, what are you talking about? Certainly not. No, not at all. Thanks.
Don't mind that TV camera.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's Dick Callahan. This has been Diamond Vision, guys. Thank you very much for your time, and Glenn and Ray will send it back to you.
Thank you, Brody. And those guys deserve a lot of credit. Troy Smith, David Dunn, they've been doing Diamond Vision for many, many years.
Yeah, they do a great job, exactly.
They work very hard.
Traveled out and did the golf tournament, the A's Community Fund Golf Tournament. Chester Farrell. Chester's been here probably as long as this stadium's been here. And we miss Roy Steele. Dick Callahan's doing a tremendous job. Hey, Chet, wave for everybody. Yeah, there you go, Chet.
Diamond Vision just down the hall from us to our left. And another, it's right on this level, but it's, you shut the door, it's quiet there, the guys are working hard. Everybody has their own job to do it, it all comes together. There's the A's with two big scoreboards. Let's take a look at David Don. But Dick Callahan is one of the nicest people in the world. A good man.
Does a great job.
Yep.
And, it's the old saying goes, when you take over for somebody who's been an institution, a lifelong institution, Roy Steele from day one in '68. And again, we wish him the best and wish he was here. But Dick Callahan taking over and hasn't missed a step. And he's been outstanding. And
Number 14.
there's the crew. David Don, Troy Smith at the bottom, and then Chet Farrell with Nick Swisher on the other side of Roy Steele, the voice of God.
Ramon Colon is the new pitcher for the Kansas City Royals. So Kyle Davies, a very good outing. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, and that was the home run by Davis. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts for Davies. He leaves with a 4-1 lead. Bottom of the 7th inning. And we certainly hope you are enjoying our special telecast tonight. It's all access. We're not done yet. Brody Brazil, who's doing a terrific job, earning his money tonight. He's got another stop to make. (3-0) to Mark Ellis. Not close from Cologne. So Mark Ellis, a 4-pitch walk, and Ellis 2 singles and a walk now. And we're going to get a pitching change. So Jamie Wright loosening up. John Gibbons, the long, slow walk. So we'll take a break. Wright is coming in. It's a 4-1 Royals lead.
$150 per seat deposit will receive an authentic Rickey Henderson jersey. You can choose from a variety of ticket plans. Flexible payment options are also available. Offer valid for new accounts only. Minimum 2 deposits per account. For more information, you can call 510-638-GO-A's or go to OaklandAthletics.com.
A's trailing 4-1. Jamie Wright comes in. He will face Derek Barton. Mark Ellis at first. He has the one-out walk. Jamie Wright has always had a good sinker, and certainly what the Royals are looking for here.
I think it was right last night, pitching the 8th inning. In the game, the A's had an 8-5 lead, struck out 2 batters.
Derek Barton, a fly ball to right field, and then a strikeout, 0 for 2. Two and 0. So Barton 1 for 6 in the series. Oh. 7 straight balls thrown by the Royals pitching staff. Cliff Pennington will be next. Outside, he walked it. Back-to-back 4-pitch walks. The good start for Kyle Davies.
John Gibbons looked at the lineup card as Bob McClure goes to the mound because Kyle Davies did an outstanding job. 99 pitches, and boy, you know, both starters tonight. Edgar Gonzalez, 69 pitches, and he's out after 5 innings because he's not built at his pitch count. And Davies tonight with 99 pitches, great 6 innings. And you have to think, well, if they could only throw, or they didn't count pitches, because Davies was outstanding.
Yeah.
It was the pitch count that sent him to the shower.
And so was Edgar Gonzalez.
Same way.
As soon as he came out, then Jay Marshall gave up a couple of hits, and the Royals scored 3 times.
So the A's, with the help of 8 consecutive balls, chance to get something going in the 7th inning.
There's a strike to Pennington. Pennington, a single in the 3rd and a walk in the 5th. Called the strike down around the knees. Olivo really didn't help the situation. He did not catch it clean.
Didn't help from the fans' reaction. The umpire saw it as it crossed the plate, and even though Olivo clanked it, it's still in the strike zone.
Big curveball, and Pennington hangs in there. Bale the lefty, Farnsworth the righty. Ellis at second and Barton at first. The A's have stranded 4 through the first 6 innings. Right field, but in the ballpark. Mitch Meyer, he has it. Mark Ellis will tag. He'll go from second to third. But 2 outs in the inning. And John Gibbons is coming out.
I'll have to get a bigger score sheet for the September call-ups.
John Bale coming in, so it'll be lefty on lefty. Bale against Kennedy.
Coming in to pitch for the Royals.
Tie score 5-5. John Bale on the mound. Ground ball back to the pitcher Bale. Home for Thornton center field. Poor John Bale. The yellow label waiting for a 1-2-3 double play to get out of the inning. Instead, he threw the ball to second, or tried to throw it to second, and so probably the happiest time for John Bale is right now. He gets back on the mound because the last thing he remembered was seeing an errant throw going to center field and 2-run score, what should have been a inning double play. Pitcher, catcher first.
You think he thought about that when he went to bed last night?
I'd say there's a pretty good chance. I'd say there's a pretty good chance he's still thinking about it right now.
Faces Adam Kennedy, the first pitch.
Same guy.
Sweeping slider, that's right. A's have not scored since the first when Rajai Davis a home run. Right there, and it's 1-1. You can see where Bale would be a tough at bat for a left-handed hitter. It's a pretty big crossover, throws from the side. One and two now to Kennedy. I'm sure John Gibbons looked at the sheets and saw that Kennedy is hitting .208 against left-handers. But it doesn't matter. He comes through with a base hit. Run comes in to score. It's 4-2. He got another breaking ball, and he just kind of flipped it to left field.
Well, that's the thing that helped him to stay on the off-speed curveball, and the fact that Bale threw it as slowly as he did. Good plate coverage by Adam Kennedy. Stayed back, no stride. Saw the break and took it to left field.
Pitching change.
Another one?
The fourth pitcher of the inning for the Royals. We'll be back.
Kyle Farnsworth.
Kyle Farnsworth is the fourth pitcher in the inning for the Royals. It's been Cologne, Wright, Bale, and now Farnsworth. This is what Rajai Davis did in the first inning. Oh. Third home run of the year for Davis. A no-doubter. So a run in for the Athletics on Kennedy's RBI single. It's now 4-2. Runners at first and second, 2 outs for Davis. No secrets with Farnsworth, a very hard thrower. He starts Davis off with a breaking ball.
How many pitchers in this? 4 pitchers in this
4,
inning.
yeah.
And it's just the 7th inning.
There's the fastball for a strike. 97 miles an hour. Well, I did not hear that the Royals called up any pitchers with the rosters expanding. The only thing they did do was activate Jose Guillen. At least that's what we were told. So it's an 8-man Royals bullpen. There's Jose Guillen.
I don't know if Miguel Olivo forgot what was called, because he came straight out of the catcher position and called time. Listen.
To Rajai Davis. He has also bounced back to the pitcher and struck out looking. So 1 for 3. And now 3-1 is the count. Michael Wirtz is throwing for the A's. Low ball 4. Bases are loaded. Three walks in the inning. Kyle Farnsworth, a 5.40 ERA. Not what the Royals had hoped when they signed Farnsworth. Farnsworth contract, 2 years, $9.25 million. So a little over $4.5 million a year. Royals gave a lot of money to Farnsworth and Juan Cruz, and neither of them have pitched very well out of the bullpen. They have a good closer in Joaquin Soria. A 1-2 Suzuki, and that's outside, 1-1. At the Royals bullpen really struggled all year. Highest ERA in the majors. The bullpen, 5.11. Bounced in the hole. Betancourt, a tough play, but he makes it. Side retired. A's get 1, and they leave them loaded. We're headed to the 8th inning. It's the Royals 4. It's the Athletics 2.
Drop your score. Stand by. All access. 4, 3, 2.
pitch.
Leading off the top of the 8th inning.
4-2 game, top of the 8th inning. Brody Brazil is hanging out where the merchandise is.
Here with Kay Kennedy, who's the director of merchandising. And Kay, there's a lot of stuff in this shop. Tell me, what are some of the things you can come down here and buy?
Well, we have a whole host of player merchandise, which is really, really popular with the fans. They really enjoy our player tees. They also enjoy our jerseys. Foam hands are always a #1 item. We sell a great deal of novelty items as well, which include logo baseballs, pins, and things of that nature.
Now, this store is located here at the Coliseum, but the Coliseum doesn't have to be a game for you to stop by and get something, right? The store's open other days.
That's right. We are actually open Tuesday through Thursday from 10 to 4.
And one of your top-selling items, did you say it was the the foam finger here?
The foam finger. You wouldn't be a fan unless you had a foam hand.
I'll have to pick one of these up and buy it. I'm not going to steal this one. I'll pay for one.
Okay. We appreciate that.
All right, that's Kay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, that Ricky Henderson jersey, popular item, I would think. The Hall of Famer. Two and one to Billy Butler. And now 3-1. Butler tripled in the 4th and then walked and scored in the 6th. He tripled with 1 out, but the Royals could not get him home. Pretty good seat right there.
Brody hasn't been down Diamond level, has he?
I think so. I'd go down there just to eat. Three and 2 to Butler. He'll be followed by Jacobs and then Callaspo. How good are those? The ice cream sandwich. The cookie ice cream sandwich.
Nachos. We have the pleasure of walking down in that area, going down on the field before the game during batting practice, and all the food is there.
Now, have you ever been tempted to take some?
No.
I have. I haven't, but I've been tempted. Pitching change. The lefty, Jerry Blevins, is coming in to face Mike Jacobs. We'll be back. By Greg Papa tonight at 11 o'clock. Dick Tomey, the San Jose State head football coach, and Ice Cube, the rapper slash actor. San Jose State opens their season against USC. No big deal. Royals 4, A's 2. A leadoff walk to Billy Butler. Jeff Gray departs, so Jerry Blevins takes over, and Blevins will face the pinch hitter Jose Guillen. Guillen just off the disabled list. Blevins recalled today along with Dana Eveland and Brad Kilby. So 3 lefties brought up, all from AAA Sacramento. Oh, 2 to Guillen. And on 3 pitches, Guillen strikes out for the first out.
Well, Jerry Blevins just in the game and challenge. All fastballs, a couple out of the strike zone, but always aggressive. Jose Guillen swinging and missing.
One out. Alberto Callaspo steps up. Good swing by Callaspo, fouls it straight back. Callaspo is 4 for 7 in the series. And he's got 5 RBIs.
Well, with all the additional left-handers, Greg Breslow's goal is to lead the American League in appearances. But it looks like he's going to be used in a specialty role when the club's ahead. So let's hope the A's in the final 31 games get ahead quite a bit. It'd be nice for the lefty out of the A's bullpen to lead the American League appearances.
Ryan Sweeney back, and he reaches up to make the catch. Callaspo is out, 2 outs.
And Beetle Bailey also to break Houston Street's record for saves. And the more he gets, is interested to read today and some comments about some of the rookies this year. And Andrew Bailey is the top of the list of some of the people who are going to be voting. So look forward to that vote in the offseason.
21 saves for Bailey, an ERA of 1.88.
In the month of August, 0.
Blevins facing the left-handed hitting Mark Teahan. Houston Street in 2005 saved 23 games. On his way to the Rookie of the Year.
I think closers as rookies, if they can put up some pretty good numbers, especially with the saves, that's going to stand out just because it is a save situation for them.
Teahan goes the other way. Scott Hairston is there. Side retired. Jerry Blevins, a nice job. Comes in and gets Guillen, Callaspo, and Teahan. 4-2 Royals. Rajai Davis gone. Home run number 3, and the A's had a 1-0 lead. Top of the second, Miguel Olivo, a 2-out RBI hit, and that tied the game at 1. Then in the 6th inning, Royals took the lead. They scored 3 times in the top of the 6th to take a 4-1 lead. Adam Kennedy got a run back. That was in the bottom of the 7th. Kennedy with an RBI single. So we reached the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-7-0 for Kansas City. 2-5-0 for the Athletics. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Jack Cuss to lead it off. Kyle Farnsworth walked Davis and then got Kurt Suzuki to ground out. So he worked his way out of the jam in the 7th inning. Quick look at the scoreboard tonight. Probably the biggest series in the American League, the Red Sox and the Rays, the first of 3. Tampa Bay. Boston won 8-4. Lester the winner. Euclid, Bay, and Drew homered for the Red Sox. Carlos Pena hit number 39 for the Rays. 8-4, the Red Sox win it. Texas swept a doubleheader. 5-2 in the first game, 5-2 in the second game. A couple of home runs for Josh Hamilton in the second game. Kinsler hit his 29th in the first game, but the Rangers get 2 much-needed wins. So the Rangers now 3.5 back of Boston in that wild card. Tampa Bay now 6 back. So the Rays need to get going. Yankees won again, 9-6 over Baltimore. 5 in a row for New York. That's their 84th win of the year. Jorge Posada, a couple home runs. Cano homered. Swisher homered. Hinsky homered. Three and 2 to Jack Cust. Curve, and it's a walk. So Cust, a couple of walks tonight, and the A's right back at it in the bottom of the 8th.
What were you saying about the fastball from Kyle Farnsworth?
Mid-90s.
Keeps throwing sliders. Pretty good movement on his fastball also.
So Scott Hairston will hit. It's the closer, Joaquin Soria.
Farnsworth pitching out of the stretch with a runner on base, very similar to when he pitched to Jack Cuss with nobody on base. A little bit careless as far as coming up and not pausing. Can be critical for a reliever by not stopping. Can be called a balk. Bob McClure, I'm sure, is in great shape as any pitching coach in the American League. He has taken a few trips to the mound this year.
So he will return. Twins beat the White Sox 4-3. So that's a big series in the AL Central. The White Sox have lost 5 in a row. Twins got a run in the bottom of the 9th. So Chicago has lost 9 out of their last 10. Foul straight back. Detroit won. So Detroit now a 3.5 game lead over the Twins and 7 over the White Sox. Good ball game in Seattle. The Mariners 2, the Angels 1. That game in the 9th inning. David Ardsman trying to close it out for the Mariners. That's a fair ball. Tehan on the dive. He gets up, he throws, not in time. Scott Hairston has a hit. And the A's have 2 on and nobody out in the bottom of the 8th.
Now Scott Harrison going back to the bag slowly, and he figures about once a game he can let it go because the quad injury or tightness in the quad. And this time stretched it, beat it, and now I'd say that's got to be concerned as he gets back to the bag. Todd Stevenson checking him out.
Number 15, Ryan Sweeney.
But, you know, the important thing is it's a tying run at first.
Yeah, I think they're going to get him out.
Todd Stevenson is just indicating.
Or they'll take a look at him. Remember, just 3 extra players for the A's: Patterson, Garcia Parra, and Landon Powell.
He runs all out. By doing that, of course, he stepped on the bag with his left foot as he stretched out, and it's just an ongoing, lingering problem. It's so difficult when you have a leg injury and to continue to try to play the game. So Patterson will pinch run for him.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen, for the Athletics. Running for Scott Hairston, number 1, Eric Patterson.
You know it's going to be fun tomorrow?
What?
Jim Joyce is going to be behind the plate umpire. And he is going to be striking, throwing strikes. He's going to be so loud.
Yeah. Pitching change at the Coliseum. John Gibbons coming out. The closers coming in the 8th.
Coming into pitch for Kansas City, number 48, Joaquin Soria.
Bottom of the 8th. A's got a shot here, trailing 4-2, but 2 on and nobody out. Cust is the runner at second. Patterson, the pinch runner, is at first. Ryan Sweeney steps in. So Joaquin Soria is going to have to work for this one if he wants to get the save. Sweeney got a fastball in the first pitch and fouled it back.
Given a game at Kansas City against the A's, as the Royals were leading 12-3, and he proceeded to give up 3 runs. 2 home runs. Matter of fact, Tommy Everidge's first major league home run, and Mark Ellis also homered. That's a different situation than now.
A 1-1 the count. Mark Ellis in the on-deck circle.
So you would say a 6-out save possibility for Sawyer. Well, the A's would like to make it a 3-out save and score 3 here. And have Vito Bailey come in and get the save.
Three and one. The Royals pitchers have walked 6. One of them has scored. The A's would like to make that change right now. The 3-1 pitch is foul back by Sweeney. 3 and 2. Another foul ball. Sweeney hanging in there.
Probably ball 4, but too close to take. See the movement on Soria's fastball just keeps running away from the left-hander. And Ryan Sweeney very good at going to the opposite field, but De Jesus in left field playing him shallow, and the right-handed pull hitter. Look at the gap between left field and left center.
And there's the walk. The bases are loaded with nobody out.
Well, this is the game we're talking about on the 9th of August. And beautiful Kauffman Stadium. And Mark Ellis in that big defeat. Of course, the Royals had a tough time beating the A's, but that night they did.
Well, Bailey's going to get up just in case. A's are in business. Ellis steps in. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. He scored a run in the 7th. Fastball inside. Royals pitching staff tonight. A walk in the 5th, a walk in the 6th, 3 walks in the 7th, 2 more walks in the 8th. Slowly hit. Betancourt will get the out at second. The run comes in to score. So it's 4-3, and the A's have the tying run at third with 1 out. So Ellis will get an RBI. Hust is the runner who comes in to score.
Once he got past Sawyer, no chance to turn 2, but Patterson around in the back of third, and Gallespo going to third. See if he can get him around in the back too far.
So Derek Barton will hit. Strike. Down around the knees, 0-1. Barton, a fly ball to right field, a strikeout and a walk.
When the on deck circle in the dugout, you see a pitcher coming in and having difficulty throwing strikes. Just try to be aggressive and look for a pitch in the zone that you can handle and not a pitcher's pitch. And the last 2 have been sinkers that Barton has done a good job not swinging it.
Good swing there by Barton. He fouls it back. 2-2 the count. Soria, long look in. Now he's ready. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Soria gets the big strikeout for the second out.
And a good fastball, but Eric Barton not quite patient enough to lay off the pitch out of the strike zone.
Number 26, Cliff Pennington.
The swing kind of indicated maybe thinking something off speed or not the good fastball that he's throwing.
Cliff Pennington, the hitter. He's trying to get Eric Patterson home from third. Single, a walk, and a fly out to right field for Pennington. The A's trailed 4-1 after 6 innings. A single run in the 7th, a single run here in the 8th so far, and they have closed it to 4-3. Strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
Pretty good fastball. Soria has shown that. Looks like he's getting a little bit better with control of the lefties after walking Ryan Sweeney.
That slips out of his hand.
Not an easy pitch to catch. You ought to expect it to come close to that area, and especially as slowly as it was thrown.
2-2 is rolled foul.
See, I like these September call-ups.
Nope. There's a lot of people who don't agree with the September call-up theory. You talked about it in the A's pregame live show. Swing and a miss. That's a good fastball from Soria. So he strikes out Barton and Pennington, and the A's cannot get that runner home from third. They do pick up a run. It's 4-3 after 8. Brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. 4-3 game, 9th inning. Jerry Blevins. First pitch to Miguel Oliva is lined into left field, and that's a base hit. Oliva's 2 for 4. Patterson is now in left field. He was the pinch runner for Hairston.
Number 1, Josh Anderson.
So the Royals get their 8th hit in the ball game.
Like Oliva slipped a little bit as he approached first base and hobbled back.
Josh Anderson to bunt, and he bunts it in the air. Kennedy grabs it, 1 out.
There's another opportunity for a double play.
That was your double play. You love that call.
Hitter going back to the dugout, and the runner going back to first. Stop. Ball hits the dirt. Look at the hitter. Anderson's so upset with himself. It could have been an unassisted double play.
Unieski Betancourt steps in, and he swings at the first pitch and lines it to left field. 2 on, 1 out, and the top of the order, David DeJesus steps up.
Number 9, David DeJesus.
That youngster has made it through 8 innings.
The jammies on and car seat to go home. Good night.
Sleeping by 30 seconds in the car, probably. Blevins and Suzuki, make sure they're on the same page. Blevins got the 3 hitters he faced in the 8th, strikeout and a couple of fly ball outs. A couple of hits here in the 9th off the left-hander. In for a strike to David DeJesus. DeJesus is 1 for 4.
And that's something you think about doing after the first 3 batters in the inning jumped on a first pitch fastball. Start the next hitter with a curveball. And lefty DeJesus took it, and a good pitch from Blevins.
On the ground to Ellis. He's got it. Spins to short. Pennington to first. Double play. 4-6-3 double play. Bottom of the 9th coming up. The A's will have the top of the order. They trail by 1. And 2 to win. Remember Josh Anderson missed the bunt attempt, popped up the bunt. Doggone it.
Then he gets the outfield and checks his right hand. His throwing hand.
Adam Kennedy to lead it off. Soria throws and a strike to Kennedy. Joaquin Soria looking for the 6-out save. More work to do. Kennedy, Davis, and then Kurt Suzuki. If anybody gets on, Jack Cust. Broken bat, pop-up foul. Kennedy has a new bat. Tomorrow, it's a radio-only day game. Trevor Cahill, Brian Bannister is your pitching matchup. 12:35 first pitch. In the 4-game series with the Seattle Mariners. So we'll be back on TV Thursday night. Tomko and Snell at 7 o'clock. The Mariners hung on to beat the Angels 2-1 tonight. Line drive, base hit left field, center field. I stand corrected. So Kennedy is 2 for 5, and the A's have the tying run aboard in the ninth.
Well, we saw him hit the curveball his last at bat, served it out to left field for an RBI, and this time it's a low fastball, does the same thing to left field, left center to start the inning. So a lot of options for the Athletics with Rajai Davis at the plate. John Gibbons saying maybe I should go back to being a bench coach, and he will, probably starting Thursday.
Outside to Rajai Davis. Davis 1 for 3 with a home run and a walk, and he takes a strike. 1-1 to count. A's have 7 hits, but they've received 7 walks. They've stranded 9 through 8 innings. Breaking ball outside, 2-1. Take by Davis, checked his swing, 3-1.
Rajai's got some great takes, doesn't he?
Yeah. Nomar's got a bat. Soria's ready. Pretty good lead by Kennedy. Kennedy bluffs, and it's a walk, and the A's have 2 on and nobody out in the ninth.
And he could have stolen second, because Soria hardly looked at him. But instead, Rajai Davis, a very patient at bat. Well, Rajai was not sacrificing to try to put the tying run in scoring position, which typically at home you don't mind sacrificing to tie the game because you're always going to get the last at bat. And I would have to think with Suzuki, 2 options: bunt or hit and run. I always like the hit and run when they're expecting a bunt.
Well, you get great speed on the bases. That helps the situation a little bit. Suzuki puts it in play. Billy Butler, the first baseman, on the grass. Tehan, a couple steps back off the line. Tehan is playing like he does not think Suzuki's going to bunt. Now he creeps in a couple steps. Hurt not bunting, and it's a fastball high.
Of course, as inconsistent as Soria has been in this half inning, especially Rajai Davis, you bunt, you're helping him. Of course, he might not get a good pitch to bunt either.
pop-up fouls. Suzuki had a good swing on that pitch. One and one the count. Now Butler, the first baseman, goes back behind Rajai Davis. Breaking ball snaps in for a strike, 1-2. A high strike.
Well, it's still a pretty good pitch. Slider that fools Suzuki. A little bit above the belt.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He went right into the fastball, 93 miles an hour. One out here in the ninth.
No look at second, just reared back and out of river.
Number 32, Jack Huss.
Looks like Soria is a guy that you look at the miles per hour, 93 is pretty good, but it's not off the charts. But it may have a little late movement on it because he does get swing throughs with that pitch.
And Garcia Parra in the on-deck circle. Start looking at the situation. The score is 4-3. Kansas City is leading, and would think that possibly the sacrifice would be put on with runners at first and second, nobody out. Start looking at who's coming up. Of course, it is Cuss, then Nomar's going to pinch hit. The A's opted not to bunt, and still first and second.
Outside to Jack Cust.
Might say, well, they intentionally walked Jack Cust, but a chance for Nomar. Then swing.
Two and 0. Maybe Cust will get a hold of one. Send us home happy.
Well, the one thing we know, if it's a gap, the A's win it because Rajai Davis, the runner at first. I'd like to see Rajai run.
Two-0 pitch, a fastball down around the knees, called a strike, 2-1.
Think about the Royals in this situation, they are not using the shift. Fastball, Jack started to pull the trigger, started the inside corner and the tail to the middle.
Big swing by Cust. 2-2 the count. .38 pitches. Well, we knew he was going to have a tough road ahead when he came in with nobody out and 2 runners on in the 8th inning. He scored one off him in that inning. 2-2. Down and away, and Cuss just got a piece of it. Well, I'm sure the Royals are thinking we're probably not going to have a closer tomorrow.
Right. Well, they'll have
so
somebody.
He needs to do the
job.
job.
Soria. If they need to try to close it tomorrow, they would not have Soria, I would not think.
Again, the 2-2. Cust is ready. Kennedy at second, Davis at first, and another foul ball.
He's trying to go inside to bring the fastball back. Jack now trying to protect the inside part of the plate. Inside corner, definitely a strike. Tommy Can. Tommy time, Tommy Can.
Yep. That one's high, and now we get a full count.
Well, he is not opposed to throwing his changeup, which is a pretty good one. Two-seam fastball, which is also good.
runners are being held. Betancourt keeping a little bit of an eye on Kennedy, but not much. Strike 3 called right at the knees. So that is the 10th A's hitter to strike out.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the Athletics, batting for Eric Patterson, number 5.
Right at the kneecap.
Garcia Parra.
So Garcia Parra will pinch hit. Last hope for the A's here in the 9th. Pitch number 43 from Soria. First pitch breaking ball for a strike. Probably pretty good pitching by Soria there, knowing Nomar likes that first pitch fastball. And almost always will take a rip at it if it's close. Oh, 1 pitch. Fastball swing and a miss, 0-2. So now Garcia Parra's really got to protect against a pretty good closer. Reach for shallow left center, but Anderson's going to get there, and that's the ball game. Now the A's had chances late, but could not tie this ball game up or push a couple across here in the 9th. So game 2 of this series goes to the Kansas City Royals by a final score of 4-3.